An alcohol-free bar is fueling the growing sober curious movement. A woman is looking for the mystery man whose name is tattooed on her butt. And a Texas man kidnapped a woman and forced her to go with him on a job interview. These are the weird stories for Tuesday on Weird AF News, the only daily weird news podcast hosted by a comedian. I'm Jonesy. Hey, I'm your host. I'm happy to be with you. Thank you for being with me. An alcohol-free bar in Texas is fueling the growing sober curious movement. Music, conversation, and the sound of glasses clinking are all part of a bar's atmosphere, as you know, including people swearing, like they're saying, "Friggin' get off the bar, Marty!" That's what it sounds like in a Boston bar, anyways. We have here in the story the Sands Bar, S-A-N-S. It's in Austin, Texas. This bar offers the same experience. The glasses clinking, the regular bar's atmosphere, the noise, the jukebox, the box of jukes. With one big exception, at the Sands Bar, these glasses are not filled with alcohol. Ooh, let's find out what they're filled with. Smoothies, healthy kale juices. Ew. Chris Marshall opened the Sands Bar in 2017 as a place where people can socialize and have fun without the presence of alcohol. Oh, it's kind of like bingo night at the retirement home. Chris says the idea was born out of his own addiction struggles, which began when he was 16 years old. This guy was addicted very early. The bar that he has is part of the growing movement known as sober curious. I've never heard of this phrase before, sober curious. This phrase was coined by an author named Ruby Warrington. Here's a quote from Chris. "I wanted to create a term that was non-judgmental and open-ended enough to really give myself permission to explore some of those questions without having to mean anything about my drinking. A lot of times we think about removing alcohol from our lives. We think we're losing out. We think we're not going to be invited anywhere. We think that life's going to become boring and not as fun. But framing it as, quote, could my life be better without alcohol? Actually kind of opens the door to all sorts of new possibilities." I agree. I don't think you need to have alcohol as the centerpiece of all your activities. It seems to be that way in a lot of places. I am very much into alcohol. As you can tell by my voice, I was partaking last night, as a matter of fact. This is what you get. Oh, yeah. This is my body telling me to stop with the alcohol. But I never listen. I just keep going with it. What was I drinking last night? You're curious, huh? Well, we started with red wine, ended with Manhattans. Hey, good decisions were made by Jonesy. But although I'm a bit of a party person on occasion, I agree that most events and gatherings are too alcohol-centric, at least in my country. I've heard it's the same way in the UK, where everybody just meets at the pub. The center of your social interactions happen at the pub, so basically happen around alcohol. And it seems like it's every night over there. So let's keep going into this. Let's get a little more information about this sober bar. Is it packed? I can't imagine people all going to this place, but who knows? Are they serving non-alcoholic beer? What are they serving? Well, it looks like there's a new category called non-alcoholic functional drinks. They contain non-traditional ingredients such as minerals, vitamins, and even amino acids. Wow, what does an amino acid taste like, I wonder? I don't know, you could drink those. It says here celebrities like Katy Perry, Blake Lively, and Macklemore have started investing in the growing functional drinks business. They created their own non-alcoholic beverages, these people. Supermodel Bella Hadid teamed up with Jen Bachelor's company Kin Euphorics to develop and sell non-alcoholic drinks as well, so celebrities are dipping into it. What about a root beer? I like a good old-fashioned root beer in a bottle. Oh, that's my non-alcoholic beverage of choice, I would say. This might be a good movement to get away from alcohol at bars, because I've noticed people are throwing axes at bars these days. Have you seen all the axe throwing that's going on? Maybe we should not pair axe throwing with alcohol. It's just a thought of mine. We should pair axe throwing with these non-alcoholic, healthy, functional beverages. Well, let me ask you this. Would you guys ever go to a non-alcoholic bar? What is your non-alcoholic beverage of choice? Call the show. 646-450-2012. Hit me. A woman is looking for the mystery man whose name is tattooed on her butt. A woman from Herefordshire, somewhere in England, a lady named Kaylee Williams is looking for the man who's been on her ass for a decade. Over 10 years ago, while on a girl's vacation, Kaylee says she met up with a bunch of guys having a bachelor party in Spain. Among them was Daniel Ford, who asked her if he could have his name tattooed on her. And this idiot said yes. That's a little... Wow. Kaylee was very impetuous back in the day, to say the least. Kaylee agreed to do it. She told this stranger, Daniel Ford, yeah, sure, you can put your tattoo your name right on my butt. She said, provided he paid for it. Just paid for the tattoo, or did he give you some extra residual money? Because you're going to have to walk around the rest of your life with this guy's name on your ass. You should get, I don't know, what's the cost of that? $2,000 a year to be an ass billboard for somebody? That seems reasonable. So did you get 20 grand, Kaylee? Or just the price of the tattoo? Are you okay, Kaylee? Clearly she was wasted. I thought they tested you for alcohol. Not tested you, but kind of, when you walk into a tattoo parlor, they sort of ask you, are you sober right now? And if you're inebriated, they don't do it. I find it hard to believe she was sober when she did this. I find it hard to believe she was drinking functional, nutritional, non-alcoholic beverages before she agreed to have a stranger's name tattooed on her bare arse. I say arse because the story's out of, England. Just trying to keep with the themes here. Anyways, Daniel agreed to pay for the tat. Ever since then, the name Daniel Ford has been emblazoned on Kaylee's ass, and now Kaylee is curious as to what's happened to this guy. She's put the word out with hopes of tracking down Daniel Ford after all this time. Yeah, she's probably trying to get married, that's why. She's got a husband who's like, who the hell is this? This guy's name on your ass. That's the end of the article. It's all over. It says she's trying to track him down. I guess we'll have to do a follow-up story to see if she found Daniel Ford. There's a photo of the tattoo. It is pretty good size in the center of her left cheek. I don't know what font that is. It's kind of cool, though. Man, she's got some other tattoos. She looks like she's got a tramp stamp as well. She's made some pretty poor tattoo decisions in her life. I'm not surprised that this stranger's name is on her ass, to be honest with you. You got to think long and hard about a tattoo, don't you? I have several, but I like them. You guys got tats? I don't know if I've ever asked you. My listeners got tats? Send me a photo of your tat. You got a cool tat? You got a weird tat? funnyjones@gmail.com. I'd love to see your tat, man. Oh, by the way, if you're Daniel Ford, Kaylee's looking for you. You like podcasts? You're listening to my podcast. Maybe you thought to yourself, I'd like to make a podcast. Too difficult. No, not with Anchor. Anchor has free creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast from your phone or your computer. Anchor distributes your podcast to Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, and more. They have advertising integration, so you can even make a little money off your podcast. Everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. And good luck with your podcast. Good luck with your creation. Good luck with your life, man. A man is accused of kidnapping a woman and forcing her to go to a job interview with him. El Paso, Texas. A man is accused of kidnapping a lady at gunpoint and then taking her with him to a job interview at the county jail. All right. Took her at gunpoint to interview at a jail. Seems like a risky maneuver. He should have a good reason, I hope. Let's find out what it was. Matthew Joseph Contreras, age 25, ended up in the El Paso County Jail on state and federal charges. Is this the same jail he interviewed for? He showed up for a job interview and then is quickly put in the same jail because he kidnapped somebody. What is with this bringing somebody with you on a job interview? I haven't heard of that before. Let's get some more information. I got a lot of questions here. Let's see if we can get some answers. Contreras allegedly assaulted a 23-year-old woman at a home and then forced her at gunpoint to go with him to a job interview across the New Mexico state line. It says here, the connection between Contreras and this woman was not disclosed. The woman had to be rescued, and she was. She was able to get the attention of a detention officer in the parking lot. So it sounds like she got saved before she even went on the job interview. An arrest warrant was issued for Contreras following an investigation by the police Crimes Against Persons Unit. He's been, okay. And then he's being held on $100,000. That's all it says? He's charged with possession of a weapon and kidnapping. But what? I need more info, man. Come on, what are you taking someone with you in a job interview? It doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, if you have references, you write them down. You don't bring your reference with you. And by the way, you've just kidnapped this woman and terrorized her with a gun. You think she's going to be a reference for you? Think she's going to put in a good word? What do you think's going on here? You're going to have to threaten her the rest of her life. Did the jail call you yet? You're my reference. Yeah, you know what to say, right? All right, don't make me come over there. I also put you down as my medical emergency person for a procedure I'm about to get on Friday at the hospital. So if the hospital calls you, you're my medical person, am I right? Don't make me come over there again. What's this guy doing? Was he perhaps very intoxicated and he made her drive him to the job interview? I could see that as a possible reason. Is it common in Texas to bring a friend to a job interview? Or your mother? Yes. Well, as you see, all my skills are on that resume. And my mom's here. She can tell you how good of a worker I am. You know, I get to bed early. Right, Mom? Tell him I get to bed early. Yes, I get up early, too. And, and I'm not very messy. Right, Mom? I'm not messy, right? Tell him I'm not messy. I'm never going to keep my cubicle a mess. I'm very good at cleaning. Right, Ma? Yeah, see? Just ask my mom about me. Now, the only other reason I can think that he would kidnap this lady at gunpoint and take her to a job interview at a jail is to just show everybody that you're capable of keeping and holding on to a prisoner. See, I got this woman right here. She doesn't want to be with me. She's my prisoner. Do I got the job at your jail? Well, hello, children, and thank you for being with me for another episode of Weird AF News. There's a gazillion podcasts out there in the galaxy, and you chose mine today. I'm so grateful. I appreciate that. Maybe one day when we're all living on some sort of exoplanet up there among the stars and the other galaxies, Weird AF News will still go on and on. I'll be dead, but maybe the old episodes will play on a loop. I'm going to keep this short and sweet because I'm going to publish some phone calls after this. I got a lot of calls the past few days. So if you guys would like to call the show yourself, 646-450-2012. We heard from a lot of all-stars, of course, and I thank you all for calling. If you'd like to support the show, once again, I remind you, we have a Patreon, and that's where the cool kids go to support Jonesy. And you get extra Weird AF content when you do that. Isn't that cool? Isn't that nice? You get extra stuff. You guys like extras, right, in life? Now, I know the price of gas is crazy, so if you can't join the Patreon, I understand. You can help me out by telling a friend about the show. That's pretty cool. It's very nice of you. Doesn't really cost anything. Although it might cost you a little bit of gas if you were going to drive over their house and tell them. So maybe just do it via text. Trying to save on the gas these days. But if you got a couple extra bucks, check out the Patreon. Patreon.com/WeirdAFnews. Or download the Patreon app, do a search for Weird AF News, or go to the WeirdAFnews.com website and click on the Patreon banner. I appreciate you guys very much. Now for some calls.
Hello, Jonesy. Hello, Weirdos. It's Michael calling from Iowa City. Happy spring. It's March 21st, and this is the first full day of spring. So best wishes and happy spring to everyone. Meteorological spring was a couple of weeks ago, but this is the first official day of spring. And I'm just wishing everyone a great day. It's 74 degrees here in Iowa City today, and that's about 15 degrees higher than the average temperature for this day. We're nowhere near a record. That was 80-some degrees, but it's a terrific, beautiful day here in the Midwest. Don't never fail. it'll be in the 40s tomorrow, but that's winter, I guess now spring in Iowa. So if you don't like the weather, wait a day and it'll change. So anyhow, I would just say, everyone be thankful for what you've got and be appreciative because we've got it pretty good here in America, most people, most of the time. And, there are other people in other places, well, right here in this country and around the world that definitely do not have it as well as we do. Think of what's going on, right now in Ukraine and so many other war-torn countries around the world. And, you know, even those that aren't in the midst of war, but, people in poverty and people that just don't have it, mostly as well as we do. So say a prayer, realize how good we've got it here in a country there where we at least have freedom, and just be appreciative and love those around you, spread some love and joy. And I'm thankful for Jonesy for the joy that he brings me on a daily basis. So, all right. That's all I want to say is happy spring, and just take care of each other and be kind. Love you all. Take care. Bye-bye.
Hello, Jonesy. This is Adrian, your number one fan in Phoenix, maybe even the American Southwest. I don't know. Your man crush. Listen, I have some news for you. This is really for you. Anybody else can read it on Google Smart News, but I figure you're probably busy, so I'll share it with you. But do you remember a while ago, I gave you the recipe to make Szechuan sauce for your McNuggets at McDonald's? Anyhow, McDonald's is bringing back the Szechuan sauce March 31st for a limited time. I was pretty excited to hear that, and I immediately thought of you. So keep your eyes open. March 31st, you could try the official Szechuan sauce on your chicken McNuggets. All right, my creative podcast host, I hope that you have a great week delivering us awesome news. You take care, man. Bye.
Hey, Jonesy. It's been a while since I've called, but on behalf of all the weirdos, myself, and to you, good luck with your life, man. Oh, and happy Florida Friday.
Hey Jonesy, Linda from Texas again, and well, I forgot to add one more thing. I now have a phobia of getting in any sort of animal or living creature stuck up my ass. Okay, I'm sorry, but that's a phobia of mine now. I didn't even think of that as a fear. I mean, like I have typical fears like drowning, being buried alive, being burned, sexually assaulted, those kinds of things. But then there's like, one of my fears is spiders. Absolutely terrifying. Like, no. I'm afraid of both large crowds and being completely alone, which is awkward considering my parents work late hours. So I'm basically always alone. So yeah, I'm overcoming that fear, sadly. But yeah, basically, TLDR, wait, who says TLDR? Nobody. Okay, you know what I mean. Okay. I now have a fear of potentially getting any sort of animal inside of any orifice of my body. Anyways, thank you for listening to yet another rant of Luna from Texas. Anyways, good luck with your life, man.